This video, I'm going to talk about the apocalypse fantasy. This is a common thing that I've noticed in my pattern, in my sort of pattern of thinking, which is that I've really been fantasizing about like the world ending lately. Like I've really been fantasizing about like, okay, like why can't the world just end already? Why can't something just happen already? And this is something that I've seen happen. Like whenever people look at like the news articles are like, oh my gosh guys, aliens are real, like people say, okay, well, can't the aliens just invade already? Or like whenever people talk about like Project Bluebeam, it's like, okay, can't the like the mass abduction happen already? Can't the massive event just happen already, right? And this is something that I've really noticed in my thinking, and I haven't been really able to put a finger on it, but I've realized that like having an apocalypse of some kind, whether it's like whether it's like a nuclear winter kind of apocalypse, like in Fallout, or whether it's kind of like a whether it's just people disappearing and you're sort of like Will Smith and I Am Legend. I realize that like being in like a post-apocalyptic scenario, it solves the problem of having to live in a system that like wants to know everything that you're doing and wants to regulate everything that you're doing, because we do live in a system that it requires you to have like a permission slip for absolutely everything. If you think about all the things that our ancestors used to do in order to live like a self-sufficient lifestyle, if you think about like setting up like pitching up a tent in order to camp somewhere, like every piece of land that you come across, even if it's like in the middle of nowhere, even if it's a ghost town, it's still owned as like by millionaires. It's still owned by billionaires, or it's owned by somebody, and the police will come up to you and tell you that, oh, you're not allowed to camp here, you're not allowed to be here, go and scram, right? So if you want to talk about being able to even just being able to camp and like pitch a tent, is something that is highly regulated because of the fact that everyone, like, it's somebody somewhere, even if it's like a billionaire who like never touches the land whatsoever, somebody somewhere owns the land. And you think about stuff like fishing, stuff like hunting, so stuff that you do in order to get food, in order to survive. Even this stuff is highly regulated. You need like a fishing license, you need a hunting license, and you need to keep it up to date in order to hunt for your own food. So even hunting for your own food is something that is highly regulated. And you even look at something like bills, like being having to like pay for electricity, having to pay for gas, having to pay for like all this other stuff. We live in a system that sort of requires you to be tethered in somewhere. It doesn't. I would say that it wants you to be tethered. I would say it sort of wants to drag you in. It wants to tether you. It wants to sort of make you have as many sort of things that you're attached to at all times. And it makes me think of like the way that like a lot of people live is that like they're successful like on paper. Like on paper, okay, you have like a 6-figure job. You're like a software engineer or whatever, and you live in like a big house, but you have all these bills, you have all these things that you need to maintain. It makes me think of like all these like big mansions that like people live in, or even like the HOA neighborhoods too. Like all of the bills that you have to pay, all of the like the car insurance, like the that you have to pay in order to in order to maintain that car and to have it be legal to drive, and you have to register your car with like the DMV in order to get a license plate, so that flock cameras can take a picture of you going 0.001 miles per hour over the speed limit, and so you get a ticket because the flock cameras detected you were going slightly faster than the speed limit, right? So it's stuff like that sort of drives me up the wall. But even stuff like this is something else that I've noticed about the system, is that this system it tries to make it difficult for you to travel. I think that they don't want us to travel. They don't want us to live a nomadic lifestyle. They don't want us to move around and to travel and to visit different places. They want us to stay in one place where they can zoom in all their cameras to sort of surveil us. And it makes me think of like people in camper vans and people who they just want to like park like in a parking lot just to sleep for the night, and they're gone the next day. Like even stuff like that, it's like, oh, like your car will be towed if you do overnight parking. Like I remember like me and my dad went to a Cabela's relatively recently. I think this was like a couple of weeks ago. We went to a Cabela's and there were signs plastered all over this gigantic parking lot that they had around the Cabela's, or like the Bass Pro Shop, that said no overnight parking, and like towing, and there was a sign I think underneath it that said like towing enforced or whatever. And of course like the no overnight parking, of course, like the reason why they're doing that is that they don't want people sleeping in their cars, right? It's almost like, how dare you exist without paying bills, right? Like if you how dare you want to cut down on your bills and not pay rent, and you want to sort of live in your car, and you want to reduce your expenses. How dare you? Like you need to stay in one place, and you need to be able to be drained of your money. And even in like especially in the United States, I've noticed this thing where it's like anytime you go to like a strip mall, anytime you go to like a parking lot or a strip mall or any like public venue kind of location, but there's always like signs that say no loitering. Basically, like this idea that basically like if you exist in one place without money being siphoned from you, it's almost like people like the system doesn't like it whenever people are sitting in one place without spending money, without having money siphoned from them. Even like parking meters is another example of this, where it's like you can't even like park your car in some places without money being sort of leached from you like a parasite. And so that seems to be the society that we live in, is that there does seem to be this sort of effort that there needs to be as many tethers as possible. There needs to be as many ways to sort of tie you down into paying a mortgage. And that's the thing about mortgages. The idea of a mortgage is super insane to me because it's just rent under a different name, in my opinion, right? So if you're living in like this gigantic house or whatever, you're living in oh man, I bought this nice house or whatever. Okay, stop paying the mortgage and see what happens. Do you really own that house? Do you really own the house, or does the bank own the house? Right? Like even stuff like property taxes, where it's like even you just existing on a property, even if you fully paid for it, you existing on a property without money being leased from you, and then the tax collector comes in and tries to collect money from you. So I think that's the reason why like a post-apocalyptic sort of scenario is so appealing. This idea of being able to pitch a tent anywhere you want, this ability to sort of like the sort of image that comes to my mind is like me riding around on like a dual sport or something, and just being able to set up camp wherever I want, being able to climb all the mountains that I want or whatever. And this is also the reason why I like westerns. Also, I really do like westerns. This idea of like an unconquered frontier where you can just set up. You can set up camp and you can cook by the by the fire. You can just ride your horse around and just explore, right? But nowadays we live in a society that doesn't allow for that. It doesn't allow for that sort of Clint Eastwood, Wild West mentality. It doesn't allow for the sort of nomadic lifestyle and yet I want to emphasize this again. Like they want you to stay in one place. They want you to be locked down in one place. They don't like people who travel. They want to limit people's ability to travel. They want to limit people's ability to go from place to place and to be able to live that nomadic lifestyle, because people who are nomads, people who live a nomadic lifestyle and they travel all over the place, they're harder to monitor. It's harder to zoom in all the flock cameras, whether it's literal flock cameras or just metaphorically speaking, just any form of surveillance. It's more difficult for nomads to be monitored, and so this is the reason why they hate whenever people want to travel. They hate whenever people want to reduce their expenses. They want like anything that is about reducing expenses and living a lifestyle that's sort of freer in terms of like location wise. It's freer. That's something that really makes people say it. It makes the sort of HOA it makes the homeowners association types sort of seethe. And one of the things that I've noticed about the sort of incessant need to sort of watch everything that you're doing and to sort of look at everything that you're doing, to say that you're not allowed to have your grass this height, you're not allowed to paint your house this color. One of the things that I've noticed is it comes in two forms. You have like the NPC version of it, which is basically enforcing social norms and saying that you have to get a real job like the rest of the Goy cattle slaves. You can't live that free lifestyle. You're a loser if you live this alternative lifestyle. You have to tether yourself with a gigantic mortgage. You have to tether yourself with bills. You have to tether yourself. Like, why aren't you plugged into the Matrix? How dare you? Right? But that's the first version of it. The sort of second version of it is like the energy vampire or the psychopath, right? And the reason why like the energy vampire and the psychopath wants to sort of control everything that you're doing, the reason why they can't stay in their lane, like why is it that like NPCs and energy vampires, why is it that they can't stay in their lane? That seems to be something that they don't have the ability to do. It's like that they always have to comment on your lifestyle. They always have to comment on the way that you're doing things, even if you're not bothering anyone. Like it just makes them mad. I don't know what it is. It's like it makes them extremely angry and just upset. Like if you exist in a way that's sort of like beyond their conception of how you should exist, even if you're not bothering anyone, even if you're not being a menace to society or anything, it still makes them mad, because like it's like you're not being plugged in, you're not paying bills and paying a mortgage and paying rent and doing all this other stuff like I am. Why aren't you plugged in? You're supposed to be plugged in, right? And so that's what the NPC version of it is. But the energy vampires and the psychopaths, the reason why they can't stay in their lane is because it's because they're power hungry. It's because they want to control everything, because that's what they get off of. That's sort of like their drug. It's like this idea that they're controlling everything. It's megalomaniacal. Like the way that they just want to like encroach on people who are just trying to live, just trying to exist. They're not bothering anyone. But yet again, like these people that they have it all. They might be like billionaires. They might have all these different assets. They might have government or political power or whatever. Like they just cannot stay in their lane, and it's never enough. And there is this sort of like spirit of greed that I've really noticed. And this is why, if we circle back to the like original, subject of the video, that this is the reason why like that post-apocalyptic, sort of that sort of Walking Dead, I Am Legend, the sort of scenario is so appealing, is because if nukes go off everywhere and the majority of the population gets wiped out, one of the implications of that is that, I don't have to go to the DMV anymore. I don't have to pay car insurance. I don't have to pay bills. I can be self-sufficient. And even like in these sort of shows where like they have to sort of figure out how to survive. They have to figure out how to hunt. They have to figure out how to hunt for their own food and how to exist without going to the grocery store for everything. Even like going to the grocery store, like everything in this system is designed to get you away from self-sufficiency. There's something just in my mind that wants to emphasize the travel aspect of it. I don't know why. This is something that is it's really being emphasized in my mind or in my spirit right now. This idea that the nomadic lifestyle, the ability to travel, is something that is especially attacked in the system. It's something that is especially encroached upon in the system. The inability to, or I wouldn't say the inability, but almost like they make it difficult and expensive for people to travel and for people to move around untethered, because they want people to stay in one place. I think that is something that I'm really that is really being emphasized in my mind for some reason, is like this idea that travel is something that is really hated by the system because they want you in one place so they can monitor you. But yeah, I mean, I've just been thinking about like, okay, why is it that like that post-apocalyptic scenario, or like that Wild West scenario, like that whole riding a horse in the frontier, riding a horse in the West, going to this unknown frontier with no regulations and just being able to explore, being able to be a nomad. Why is that like a really appealing fantasy? I wouldn't say that it's necessarily like a post-apocalyptic fantasy, but I would also say that it's more like a nomad fantasy. This idea that you're not tethered to any one place, you're not tethered by bills, you're not tethered by location, you're not tethered by people, you're not tethered by institutions. And so I would say that is something that I'm really getting in terms of like an intuitive download. Right now, is that like this idea, like the nomad is sort of like the antithesis of like the perfect citizen in the sort of like new world order. It's the opposite of you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. It's the opposite of that, where it's like you have the ability to sustain yourself. You're not eating the bugs. You're not eating the goy slop. You're not working the wagey job and being a slave. You're self-sufficient, and that is something I would say like the nomad is sort of like an archetype that it represents everything that the system hates. It represents freedom. It represents self-sufficiency. It represents the inability to surveil someone who's always moving, someone who's always conquering new frontiers, always visiting new places, always visiting new people. Like that seems to be an archetype, or just like a kind of person or a kind of lifestyle that the system really hates. And I think that might be the reason why the post-apocalyptic sort of fantasy really appeals to me personally, is because it appeals to that sort of nomadic part of myself that I think is really, I've really become aware of that recently, which is this idea that like I would rather like ride like a dual sport and just ride around in the wilderness and pitch a tent if it meant having zero bills than living in like a big spacious house. Even stuff like it makes me think of like all those YouTube videos of people getting like free Lamborghinis. Like Mr. Beast gave you a free Lamborghini, right? But it's like unless you were able to sell that car for money, and you were able to sell that car for money, and you were able to build a sort of base for yourself, it would be absolutely useless to you. Like the amount of insurance that you would have to pay on that, if any part of that car breaks, you'd have to pay like an exorbitant amount of money in order to get it fixed, right? Like, and I think that supercar analogy is like a perfect representation of the society that we live in, which is like, okay, it looks good on paper, but it's a tether, it's dead weight, it's a ball and chain dragging you to the bottom of the ocean. And I think that is what the modern lifestyle of being in the society is all about. It's all about putting that ball and chain on you and tricking you into thinking that, oh, it's successful for me. It's quote unquote success, right? It's I have a big mansion, I have a Bugatti, and yet again, like there's all the hidden expenses. There's the car insurance, there's the repair bills, there's the mortgage. If you stop paying the mortgage, the bank comes to take your house, right? So it's like, okay, it looks shiny on paper, it looks good on paper, but your soul is tethered to the system, and you're selling your soul and you're selling your energy to be tethered to a system so that you can look good on paper. Like, oh, okay, you have a big house and you have this fancy car, you have a good car, like you're making car payments on it. So it's like, no, like that's not the value system that I want to abide by. That's not the lifestyle that I want to abide by. I don't want to be tethered to anything. I don't want to be tethered to anywhere. And I think that's why like the post-apocalyptic fantasy, or like the nomad fantasy, is so appealing, because especially in the post-apocalyptic scenario, well, it's a literal destruction of the system. It's a physical destruction of all tethers. And I think that's why I've been having that really sort of big fantasy lately of just being untethered to the system, being able to just ride around and travel and to visit places and to go places without being monitored, without having to be attached or tethered by insurance, or having to get a permission slip to do basic survival things like hunt and fish for my own food. Oh no, like it's easier to go to the store and get the goy slop with the Monsanto pesticide, aspartame, whatever the fuck. Right? It's easier to go there and to get your goy slop than it is to get your own food from nature, which is like it's really. And I'm not just saying that in a technical sense. Okay, yes, it's easier to go to the grocery store than it is to hunt for your food in a technical sense. But I'm talking about, in terms of like a permission slip sense, having to ask permission, having to, ask the, daddy government for permission for a license for you to do basic survival stuff, for you to do, for you to pitch a tent and just, sleep somewhere for the night. Right? Just stuff like that really just does drive me up the wall about the society. And I think that, that post-apocalyptic scenario, it really would be, you're just wiping the table clean. You're wiping everything clean. It's a complete reset of all that stuff. And so you wouldn't have any tethers. And I think that that's why that sort of scenario, I feel like a lot more people have that sort of, fantasy or that sort of scenario, that sort of I Am Legend, sort of scenario in their head where it's like they're sort of sitting in their office cubicle or their, wagey job or whatever. And they're just like, oh man, well, can't the nukes just fall already? So I could, go around with my dog and loot gas stations or hunt for deer and pitch a tent and set up a campfire, because that freedom, that spiritual freedom, is preferable to all of the tethers that we have in society. Even if there's a bunch of shiny stuff that tries to drag you in, even if it's shiny on the surface, it's still tethering and it's bondage to your soul. And I think that that's why that fantasy appeals not just to me, but I think to a lot of people. Especially nowadays, where people are just waiting for the nukes to come, and people are just waiting, for the world to end. People just, well, why can't the world just blow up already? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of waiting. I want something to happen. But I think that that's why that is because people want to live a life without tethers again. Just like we did in the past, just like our ancestors did. I think that we want to live a life without tethers, like that nomadic lifestyle where we're not attached to anything. We're not obligated to anything or anyone, right? But yeah, that's the video.
Next.
Every person who's ever shared a meme from They Live believes they put on their glasses. They've not. They Live is the most successful failure in cinematic history. Its imagery became so ubiquitous that it stopped being a warning and became part of the very thing it was trying to expose. Nowadays, every political tribe pretends to be wearing the glasses. The left, the right, the conspiracists, they all think the glasses were made for them.
What's your problem?
And that they are the enlightened ones.
I said, what's your problem?
That's the problem. Because the glasses don't reveal the lie. They reveal that you've noticed the lie.
You're going to pay for that or what?
And in a culture that monetizes everything, that's not resistance. That is just a more subtle form of compliance.
It's a new morning in America. Fresh, vital. The old cynicism is gone. We have faith in our leaders. There are no limits.
It figures it would be something like this.
To understand how a radical film like They Live became muted, you have to understand the year it was made, as well as the man who made it.
They Live was a movie I made towards the end of the 80s, and I was reflecting on a lot of the values that I saw around me at the time. Mainly inspired by Ronald Reagan's conservative revolution. There was a great deal of obsession with greed and making a lot of money. And some of the values that I grew up with had been pushed aside. So I decided to scream out in the middle of the night and make a statement about that. And They Live is partially a political statement.
He was not a happy chap.
Look out, guys!
He'd just come off Big Trouble in Little China, another cult film that the studios buried. However, he was contractually free for the first time in years. And so he took that freedom and made the angriest film of his career. And let's not forget that Lee, the TV series that petrified rodents everywhere, had become a massive rating success a few years earlier. The source was a 1963 short story by a guy named Ray Nelson. It was called 8 O'Clock, George Nard Morning. You should read the short story success a few years earlier. The source was a 1963 short story by a guy named Ray Nelson. It was called 8 O'Clock in the Morning. You should read the short story. I mean, seriously, it takes about 10 minutes and it will ruin your appreciation of the film in all the right ways. There's a link to it in the description. George Nada wakes from hypnosis during a stage show and suddenly sees the world as it is. Reptilian creatures called the Fascinators run everything. The commands are printed on posters, broadcast through the television, and they're stitched into the texture of everyday life. Within the first few pages, one of the Fascinators calls George on the phone to inform him that his heart will stop at 8 o'clock the following morning. Then he goes out and starts trying to wake people up to show them that the aliens exist and that they're running everything. He fails completely. Every person he attempts to wake either can't hear him or reports him to the authorities. The news broadcasts start calling him a homicidal maniac. And by the middle of the night, George is a fugitive, alone, and entirely unable to convince anybody else of what he knows. The ending is where the story reveals exactly how dark it's willing to go. George breaks into a television studio and kills an alien on air. Then he uses their own broadcasting infrastructure to transmit a wake-up signal to the city. It works. People see the truth, and a war begins. George doesn't survive to see it. He dies of a heart attack at exactly 8 o'clock the following day. He wins, and yet he dies anyway. There's also a detail that sounds minor, but is absolutely fundamental to the story. The only thing that wakes the city up is the television. It's not an individual talking to them one-to-one. It's the box in the corner. So Carpenter took that story and made a film in which a man with a shotgun and a pair of sunglasses solves the problem in less than 2 hours.
Mama don't like tattletales. Wearing sunglasses.
In Carpenter's version, Nada is a drifter. He arrives in Los Angeles, finds work as a laborer, and ends up in a shanty town where the unemployed sleep, eat, and watch a small television all together.
We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep.
The opening 40 minutes of the film are about social and media oppression, about the conditions that produce people who can be told what to think because they've not been given anything else to think about. Remember, television was the great societal threat of the 1980s, and there was typically only one of those per household. Imagine how they'd feel today. Anyway, then Nada finds the glasses, and anything political that the film's saying pretty much evaporates straight away. He finds the glasses, and then, rather predictably, he reaches for a gun. The black and white world behind the glasses is doing more work than people actually give it credit for. It's not just a visual trick, it's a nostalgia machine. It evokes 1950s advertising, that post-war golden age of consumer conditioning. That's the moment the industrial machinery was being installed into the modern psyche. But the visual grammar of those black and white sequences also communicates something else, perhaps unintentionally. It makes the hidden world look simple. There's absolutely no ambiguity to it. There are just aliens sending clear instructions to sleeping humans, which is a very comfortable version of how power works.
You're okay. This one, real fucking ugly.
Carpenter's formal choice to make the world readable at a glance mirrors his narrative choice. He makes the problem visible and therefore seemingly solvable.
Put him back on, formaldehyde-faced.
He simplifies what is a complex world and makes it cartoonish. He makes it all the aliens' fault, which is structurally a conspiracy theory. The world is being run by hidden enemies. The truth is suppressed, and the awakened few must spread the word.
And the fear of God is not before the eyes.
And in doing so, he makes the audience feel absolved. It's not my fault, it's them. As such, the viewer has someone to blame. That way, they don't have to confront anything too uncomfortable about themselves.
Our human spirit is corrupted. Why do we worship greed?
The slow opening is intentional. Carpenter wants you to sit in the social conditions, the economic and political uncertainty and fragility of these people's lives.
They put you at the starting line. The name of the game is make it through life. Only everyone's out for themselves and looking to do you in at the same time.
That's the part of the film that earns the argument. But once the glasses go on, the film stops being about those conditions that produce compliance, and it becomes a simple struggle between good and evil. And that's the downgrade on the short story.
I got a job now, and I plan on keeping it. I'm walking a white line all the time. I don't bother nobody. Nobody bothers me.
They Live was made for around $3 million. It opened at number 1 in the US box office in November 1988. Took $4.8 million in its first weekend.
White line's in the middle of the road.
And was knocked off the top spot a week later by Child's Play.
It's the worst place to drive.
After that, it disappeared. But the film's afterlife is where the argument lives. In 1988, a young art student called Shepard Fairey saw the film and started making stickers.
Really, the phrase that stuck out the most for me was obey, in that what do people do subconsciously the most but resist the most consciously if they're confronted with it directly?
The campaign became a global street art empire. Fairey eventually designed the Hope poster for Barack Obama's 2008 presidential campaign. The visual language of They Live, the language of a film about manufactured consent, was used, ironically, to manufacture consent for a presidential candidate. And nobody saw the contradiction in that.
I
In the
did.
years since, the film's imagery has been used by every political movement that wants to feel like an underdog. The Guy Fawkes masks from V for Vendetta would later do the same job for Anonymous. Whatever you already believed or wanted to believe, the film made you feel like a hero for simply believing it.
I believe in America. I follow the rules.
Now, there's a darker side to how this film's used.
Everybody's got their own hard times these days.
Think about the last time you watched a documentary or the news or a charity event on the TV. They may have shown you something terrible like a child affected by famine or a war-torn tenement. Watching it, you felt informed. You felt, briefly, that because you've given it your time and you've empathized, you feel like you've done your bit. You've done something wholesome. Whereas in actual fact, you've done absolutely nothing. All you've done is simply watched. And the watching has taken place of the doing. That's what De Boer was talking about in 1967, when he said the spectacle is not a collection of images. It's a social relationship between people mediated by images. The image doesn't just deceive you, it substitutes for you. It does your living for you. That's what They Live does. It's a film about the spectacle that becomes part of the spectacle. You see, the image of resistance replaces the practice of resisting. Awareness is not the bottleneck. Most people already suspect the broad shape of the truth. They suspect the rich are protected by the law in the way that poor people aren't. They suspect that the news is shaped by those people who pay for it. People are not stupid. They understand the way the system works. So what's missing is not the glasses. Most people actually see the world for what it is. Now, what's missing is everything that comes after the glasses. The action. And I don't mean the violence. It's the getting up off your backside and doing something. The image substitutes that step. The glasses do all the work. By pretending that you've seen, you think you've done. But all you've done is see. That's what makes They Live the most successful failed warning in cinematic history. Not that it warned us about nothing, it warned us about something absolutely real. But it warned us in a form so satisfying and cinematically pleasurable that the warning itself was hijacked and became itself the new sedative. You see, the spectacles became the spectacle. And claiming that you see the world through them has now become the lie.
Try these on. Look, you crazy mother. Put these on. Hey, stay away from me.
If I'm honest, this film totally frustrates me. It could have been absolutely great, and so it plays like a missed opportunity. The alley fight is absolutely ludicrous. It runs for nearly 6 minutes, and there's no reason, no narrative reason anyway, for it to be that long. However, that scene is, I would argue, perhaps the most honest part of the film. It's two working-class men beating each other senseless over whether to accept a reality that neither of them can change. The most widely shared piece of culture about manufactured consent is now a meme. The glasses were free. And that should have been the first warning.
Yep. And talking about They Live, it feels good to come back to this movie. And like the first video before this, talking about how everybody want the apocalypse. Let's talk about that first. You know, just get this shit over with already. And the reason is we want to go back to being self-sufficient. That was the whole point of the first video. And the second video with They Live, it gives another perspective of what They Live really means. And he's kind of right. There were certain things that I didn't agree with, but I could probably say like 90% of what he said was pretty cool and on point, because it leads to the point of we put the glasses on and we see the lie, but we're not doing shit about it. That was the whole point. That was the whole point. But going back to the first video of how everybody just want this shit to just really just fucking end already, get the alien invasion over with, set the nukes off, so people don't have to worry about bills and being tethered. He kept on saying the word tethered, being tethered to things and society and bills and jobs. Once the aliens come, once the war starts, or the revolution or civil war, or whatever, you know, like everything can go back to being self-sufficient. Then going back to the second video they just got done playing with They Live, it's like we see the lie, we see the enemy, we see what's going on around us, but we're not doing nothing about it. We just the motherfuckers with the glasses on that say we got the glasses on and see. You know, now when it goes to what They Live come from, it comes from a short novel called 8 o'clock in the morning. And the man is about to die of a heart attack 8 o'clock in the morning. But before all that, he falls asleep in like a theater and he wakes up and realizes the world is invaded by aliens. Then he finds out that he's going to die at 8 o'clock. So within that time frame, he tries to convince as many people as he can that, look, this world is run by aliens, shit ain't is what it is, you know, to the point where by the end of the fucking day, he's a wanted fugitive, you know, considered fucking a hostile, crazy maniac, because he's getting the truth out there. So the drastic way of getting the truth out there is blowing a newscaster's head off live on air and changing the frequency to get people to see. And yes, a war does break out. But what happens at 8 o'clock? The man dies. Just like it was foretold. You're going to die at 8. The world is ran by aliens, motherfucker. What you going to do about it within this time frame? Which leads back to a term that I kind of use called, without sacrifice, there could be no victory. Now, he may have gripes with the movie, like the guy that was talking, like he have a little bit gripes with the movie. He even disagreed with the fight scene, you know, and, hearing them out, hearing that perspective is understandable. But still, personally, the fight scene still kind of sticks with me, because you have to beat a nigga ass to get a motherfucker to wake up. You know, or metaphorically or mentally beat the truth in somebody's head to get them to wake up. But in the movie They Live, it was just a physical representation. But yeah. Going back to the first video. I'm doing this back and forth shit. Going back to the first video, I'm trying to get this out. A lot of people feel like this. You like people that have been through it, that see the truth, that know what's going on. Like most of us feel that like, oh my god, damn, like just get this shit over with already. Blow the world up or start the alien invasion, start the war. All this slow burn shit is boring or like it's draining. you know so I try to you know living a fucked up life, living a draining life, living a useless life on this fucking planet. I try to find the small things to try to be cool and be happy, like dealing with nature. Love is the greatest form, you know, and it's just that motherfuckers don't care. Some people don't care about anything I'm talking about. So fuck it, right? I gotta adapt, but no one wanna understand my feelings. Fuck it. Just let it all just blow up. But that's the feeling that me and most people feel. But I try to stay meditating. I try to keep my mind right, and I try to hold on to things I love and put it on the highest fucking pedestal. But even that's a fucking problem. Fuck it. Fuck it. And when it comes to going back to the movie of They Live, you know, you gotta go through all these hostile loops, troops, and hoopty hoops to get the truth out. And when you try to get the truth out, you get called a fugitive. You get put on a fucking terrorist watch list. Like, this is real life. I'm not motherfucking just saying shit just to be saying. This is real shit. Back in the day, you told the truth, you was decapitated. You went against outside societal norms. You was labeled crazy, a weirdo. It's motherfuckers don't want me to be myself. They want me to be on that bullshit. I just can't do it. I can only be myself. I can only be me. I can, I can fight to the very end. In spite what Homeboy perspective was on They Live, it's still a great movie. And he's not saying that it wasn't a great movie. He's saying it was a successful failure. And really it was. Box office numbers wise, you know, a lot of critics didn't really fuck with it, but like over time it became a cult classic. Still to this day, people like even people that don't understand the memes of They Live is using They Live. And what he also pointed out was how shit was weaponized for the Obama campaign. Like when I was going around seeing those pictures of Obama in the They Live format, it really pissed me off. It made me mad. I'm like, do people understand what they're seeing right now? It is what it is. Many are called, few are chosen. Salute Low Key, man. What up, though? Salute GBA Radio. What's good? Salute In the Groove. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody's going to watch on the playback. What I was just playing, like the first video was discussing why people want the world to end. And the second video was discussing the breakdown on They Live, on the real, I mean, like not the real, but like the other perspective of that movie and what people seem to miss. But what people seem to miss is people have put on the glasses, but motherfuckers ain't doing shit. You just see. You feel me? Like that's the point that I think the guy was getting at. And he was also pointing out how they use They Live memes to support political agendas on the left and the right. You know, and it goes back to how, you know, how I used to say low key, how they motherfucking hijack our talking points and say our shit and motherfucking weaponize it, or they present it theyself. You know, so it's like, he was covering that. It was a cool, cool perspective. I forgot the name of the channel. I just came across it today. You know, yeah, this shit was wild. But the first video talking about why people want this fucking world to end already is because, you know, people are tired of being tethered to society. We're tired of being tethered to religious, political dogma. And the real true shit that we want is self-sufficiency. We shouldn't have to wake up and worry about a fucking bill. We shouldn't have to wake up and worry about, holy shit, if I don't pay my fucking mortgage, I'm gonna lose my house to the fucking bank. We shouldn't have to worry about gas or food being high when we can go to nature. We shouldn't have to worry about getting a license to hunt or fish and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You talked about this shit before, low key. You talked about this before. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've been covered it. But you know, I was just bringing it back. Say God is the realest nigga. Oh shit. If I ever say that, nigga, shoot that motherfucking clone. If I ever say anything like that, find the clone and shoot at the shit. And shoot it again. If his soul start dancing, shoot that motherfucker. And if all else fails, delete yourself, go to the afterlife and delete that motherfucker there too. That's how I end bloodlines. But yeah. Shit. 12:27. I just wanted to play those quick videos real quick. We'll play the bitches real quick. Now I'm about to play some songs for about like 20 or 30 minutes. Then we're gonna get up out of here. I gotta work on another track. And shit, I think that's it. Yeah, working on these other tracks I'm working on. Your track was fire, low key. Shout out to Low Key for that track. I'm gonna have to go to my second phone. Let's play it real quick. Let's leave this. Turn on this.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
All right. I shared it on my community post. About to play Low Key's new track, y'all. Y'all stick around. Stay tuned. You already know what it is. Hold on. I just posted it. Here we go. It's called Golden. Shout out to Low Key T from Jersey. It's a Jersey thing. New exclusive. Low Key. Low. 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 Low Key. Hey.
golden girl outside. I'm a sunrise for the whole world. Until the whole world me, whole world me.
Yeah, I'm the man now. Ex left me when I was homeless, he said no handouts. Living in a red roof inn until it panned out. Never popped a pill in my life, I'm popping Zans now. Yeah, I'm the man now, fucking the girl of my dreams. I'm a man now, these bitches need a BBL to stand out. BBS on GT63, I'm the man now. Wake up, thank God for another day above ground. Like a late rapper, pray my legacy is profound. My father wasn't there when I needed him, I'm a man now. I slutted out somebody's daughter, she don't use her hands now. When I wrote this, I was sleeping in my car. God, if you really love me, please don't wake me up tomorrow, damn. Birds chirping, guess my mission ain't resolved. Best rapper alive, all I'm missing are applause. Words so real, I don't need a fucking cause. My depression creeping back, I tried to ignore it, I might not make it out alive this time. I ain't even about to lie this time. I hit secrets from you time after time. I slid, my enemies, they all fucking died. Listen, I won't let the devil win, believe that. Even though my Bible right next to my ski mask. It's like a full-time job not to kill niggas. Ever seen real tears pouring out a real nigga? My bitch be on bullshit, my Glocky on full clip. I don't wanna die, but I'm tired of the bullshit. Yeah, bad karma, good weed. Yeah, life a bitch, she on her knees. Yeah, my enemies never had sympathy. Caught him with the top down, did him worse than Kennedy. I'm the man now. Ex left me when I was homeless, he said no handouts. Living in a red roof inn until it panned out. Never popped a pill in my life, I'm popping Zans now. Yeah, I'm the man now. Fucking the girl of my dreams, I'm a man now. These bitches need a BBL to stand out. BBS on GT63, I'm the man now.
When I'm golden, you gon' see me when I'm golden, girl, outside. I'm a sunrise for the whole world.
Shouts out to Low Key, new exclusive.
Until the whole world me, whole world me.
That was fire, Low. Shouts out to Low Key from Jersey. You already know what it is. For real, for real.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Email Road One Productions.
Fuck the world, I ain't trying to stay. NPCs get up out the way. On these sheets, get up out my face. You one step closer, getting shot today. Fuck this rap, y'all ain't listening. Y'all rather be a slave to men. Look at the fucking state we in. Look up the laws in the state you in. One of the reasons for my cave within. Call yourself off, won't break again. Time being hurt, gotta say it again. Between love and hate is thick within. Trying to keep all my love and hope. Fuck it all, let it go. Tired of this, I'm about to smoke. Left alone in the cosmos. This is only the half of it. There is more that I have to spit, but y'all don't care when I'm rapping this. Fuck the world, I'm out the bitch. This is only the half of it. There is more that I have to spit, but you don't care when I'm rapping this. Fuck the world, I'm out the bitch. This is only the half of it. There is more that I have to spit, but you don't care when I'm rapping this. Fuck the world, I'm out the bitch. This is only the half of it. There is more that I have to spit, but you don't care when I'm rapping this. Fuck the world, I'm out the bitch. Fuck the world, I ain't trying to play. Paradigm game is designed to stay. Comply with the government is not the way, but y'all won't fuck with it anyway. Time this shit, so I'm out the bitch. Y'all don't care if violence is. Telling you truth and dropping hits. Giving y'all news about politics. Open up my call to relationships. Don't wanna get hurt in that space again. Gave my heart, get played again. Tell my heart I'ma make amends. This time I'll come and never break again. Put me in the darkest place again. Dark night of the soul, gotta face again. Grab my sword, gotta slay again. This is only the half of it. There is more that I have to spit, but you don't care when I'm rapping this. Fuck the world, I'm out this bitch. This is only the half of it. There is more that I have to spit, but you don't care when I'm rapping this. Fuck the world, I'm out this bitch. This is only the half of it. There is more that I have to spit, but you don't care when I'm rapping this. Fuck the world, I'm out this bitch. This is only the half of it. There is more that I have to spit, but you don't care when I'm rapping this. Fuck the world, I'm out this bitch.
You said that shit was a throwaway. Shit's still fire though. All right, play my new exclusive. New exclusive.
From Detroit to Texas. Apocalyptic flows, I change this whole dimension. Reach my ascension, time to start the mission. Metaphysical drill shit you gotta deal with. I hit the mode that hit you with spinning wheel kicks. Feel this, I'm going hardcore. You cardboard, you can fall for it. Hit your ass with this broadsword. Try to course, got no way using parkour. Call the saboteur, shot our ass with this Mossberg. One shot was seeing quakes to every city. Killing plenty, the government was fucking with me. Teach your lessons, restricted weapons, delete your essence. Have you run to the priest, give them the confessions. Keep the message of revolution, I'm best to do it. It reflect through my art and my fucking music. What you doing? Sitting here, I'm cooking up. Can't find the revolution, then look at us. Hurricane to be the name, got back 11s. Eradicate all fears, I see him stepping. When I'm repping, revolution got many weapons. No biblical shit, this is Hurricane. This is Hurricane. No music, breaking Hurricane. This is Hurricane. What it is, breaking Hurricane. Cataclysmic, I got the spirit disaster image. I'm descending from the sky, you killing villains. Not tripping, they killing us by the millions. Vaccination, the death rates, like high percentage. Oh, you mad? I'm spitting truth and fucking facts. Fucking facts, put you all in body bags. See me clad, all black, carry your Mac. Pistol whipping the fed. I'm killing your dad. Every bloodline real fall, I gotta brag. Break a stroke to the planet and then you trying to fast. At last, retaliation for the past. This is my damn land, you gotta take it back. Don't be ready, the storm is deadly, you feel the rage. As I come to your city, destroying everything. Every rain with pierce flesh, show I'm the best. Active emergency, it's not a test. I've destroyed everything to nothing left. Whoever left, the motherfucker get beat to death. While I'm repping the revolution with many weapons, no biblical shit, this is Hurricane. This is Hurricane. Bringing Hurricane. You know what it is? This is Hurricane. New chapter. Bringing Hurricane. This is Hurricane. Hurricane be like name. Breaking Hurricane. Hurricane, the Style Master.
Phenom Rogue One Productions.
I got the weapon that take your head off and make you do backflips. A particle weapon as soon as it hits you, it turn you to black mist. Keep you so hard, you go through a building, you see the reactions. The building is falling, you should have been running and now you are flattened. Look at the news, see all the people in government panic. You should have get back to the people where took care of the planet. Now I have awakened, I'm using my power, I'm doing some damage. Live up a continent, sink that bitch just like Atlantis. God of the wind and the storm and the fire, the God of the Mayans. Pop water you into TV, show the energy rising. Haters ain't ready, I'm deadly, I'm so chaotic and violent. Call out the enemy in the facility, they will be dying. Government tripping, the people don't listen to what I be saying. Smoking and drinking and fucking around, you niggas is playing. Now I have arrived, tell the government they gonna die. Now I have arrived, tell the parliament they gonna die. my weapon, I'm going to war. I'm ready to settle this. Using the physical, using the mental and spiritual elements. The feelings return. Guess what, bitch? I am the revenant. And I'm a guy, you are a human, there's no comparison. Destruction incarnate, you better get ready, cause I'm on the offense. Creating dimension and send on the haters to infinite darkness. Fire and brimstone making it rain straight from the sky. Born in the atmosphere, you won't be happy here cause you just died. Came up in parliament, all of the bitches is getting erased. Global agenda ain't winning, about to end it today. No more diplomacy, beating you beggars with fiery trains. Cops ain't ready for war, I'm putting a hole in their brain. Chopping the fit in the pieces, you see it, the bloody remains. Peel the flesh of your bones, staple that bitch to a train. Frequency blade, way of the warrior, way of the samurai. Come off your head, throw that bitch and they crash to a satellite. Yeah, the evil is over, yes, I will be satisfied. Decapitate all of the enemies, fall the evil they glamorize. Lift up a border leaders, now they falling from the sky. Shooting the rest of the leaders, yes, they all gon' fucking die. Grab my weapon, I'm going to war, I'm ready to settle this. Using the physical, using the mental and spiritual elements. The feathers return, guess what, bitch? I am the revenant. And I'm a guy, you know, like human, there's a comparison.
Hold on. Let's go.
We interrupt this program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. A nuclear attack was commenced against the United States. 15 nuclear bombs have detonated in several areas across the country. They include Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Denver, Detroit, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Contingency plan, I got mine on my hip. Knocking on his door, I'll send you with Chrysler. Contingency plan, I'm with your bitch in the sticks. She got canned goods, but this hoe wanna eat my dick. Contingency plan, I'm standing tall in the collapse. They wanna govern our mind and study how we all react. Fingers on triggers, watch freedom fall right in our lap. Contingency plan, shit hit the fan, no going back. A coward die 1,000 deaths, I'ma die once. My contingency plan, real niggas to the front. Grab a bat, grab a sword, grab a gun. Bullets raining like a hurricane, reload the drums. The purge, my home away from home, wait, here I come. Rule number 1, when it's beef, never run. Let them shells cook a nigga alive, you well done. Baptized by fire, feel like Satan, son. Chosen ones need to unite, there's more than one. Left, right, paradigm can trick a real one. My niggas acting like I wasn't in the field once. Last night I had a dream, we fought for freedom and we won. And I put that on my unborn son, straight slaughter. I put that on my unborn daughter. My contingency plan includes your bloodline and torture. Yeah. Divine enforcer, yeah, all that greed, look at what it cost you. Holy Bible in my hand, I sent them to the altar. Married to the smoke, me and my pistol at the altar. Contingency plan, I got mine on my hip. Knocking on this door, I'll send you with Christ live. Hurricane, what's your plan?
My contingency plan is go ballistic. And super expensive time to bring the rules, so pay attention. Proper structure was cut down to simultaneous. Blow it up, everything is so courageous. I'm the angriest dude, real pistols is dangerous. Bound strapped to my chest with the zaniness. Keep on naming this doctor weapon, I stole it. Throwing politicians and feds up in the ocean. Where's my opponent? Show me my opponent. Billionaires that die votes, I gotta smoke them. After you win, I pick them up and throw them. Fuck all the talk. It's time for us to show them everything. With the raiders in my veins, burning everything. Ain't no leaving, no dead remains. Better feel the pain. In the name of the hurricane, if we don't kill the government, this shit will never change.
Wow, gentlemen, when the shit hits the fan, some guys run and some guys stay.
All right, we're gonna play 3 more tracks. As a matter of fact, I ain't played Jordan track. Where Jordan track at? Where the motherfucker? There you go. Let's play. Shouts out to Jordan. Atlanta, Georgia.
Bringing it back, so cold with the flows when I spit it on tracks. Writing hardcore lyrics, gotta put it on wax. We can't tell lies, we be spitting the facts. Most rappers is trash and they do it for cash. I do it for the love with this lyrical blast. Going fast like Flash when I'm whipping your ass. Let me slow it down quick, this a blast from the past. Underground flows with an old school vibe. Not your head to the beat and remember the rhyme. Real music, you can hear it, you can never deny. Corey came and joined an act when we be keeping it live. From Detroit to Savannah, let the whole world see. Midwest, Southern soul, make the people believe. Spitting revolution lyrics so my people be free. Throw your hands in the air if you rollin' with me. Underground sound, it goes down in Motown. Straight to your town, smoke a pound, we smoke crowds. Cold sound, everybody know what goes down. Underground sound, yeah, we bringing it back now. Tell them, Jay. Bringing it back. Bringing it back. Hey, back to the underground. Back to the underground. Where it comes from. Back to the underground. Back to where it comes from. Back to the underground. Where it comes from. Hey. Breaking it back.
Number 3.
Breaking it back. Breaking it back. Breaking it back. Breaking it back. Back again, spinning magic just like a paladin. Yeah, we gotta win. The underground is back again. For the ancestors. It's time to take it back again. Spitting magic just like a paladin. Yeah, we gotta win. The underground is back again. For my ancestors. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. It's time to take it back now. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. It's time to take it back now. Underground sound. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. It's time to take it back now. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. This that underground sound. It's time to take it back now.
Number 2.
Hurricane 313.
This a breath of the ancestors. With this time of hawk, you get your head severed. Creep up in the building, get the fair records. My Beretta was gold plated with the suppressor. Feel the pressure of heavy rates, nothing lesser. I'm the god of storms, I control the weather. So clever, you fools should know better. When I come through better until the storm shelter. Flow better, hip hop is forever. We take the government down, we write no letters. Take hold of the crime, we make the throne better. I turn this whole world into a Coachella. Pick up the pack of a pistol, pop you like pimple simple. People pack the pistols, the population of evil tremble. I resemble the revolution, no ancient temples. Haters better watch your tone, or they get dismembered. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. Cracking bottles overhead to make them wobble. Don't like the TV show, nigga, just change the channel. Genocidal, these lyrics might hold the title. Carry Bibles, mind goons, they carry rifle. Very tribal, Sometimes we very primal. 8 on 15, I'm killing every rival. They say it's mediocre. Cut you up into pieces and leave your body parts inside your easy sofa. Be the soldier, you see my soldiers, they creeping over. Parkour type shit, you see us leaping over. Jackie Chan, you understand, you catching hands. Kick your ass through the van, I think you dead, man. Fuck a fizzle, the fragile fickle. Feel like I got a blast at the devil, but quicker than anybody, nigga. Split your body apart and throw you in the river. This the revolution, you gotta deal with us. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed.
Thanks, GBA. Hell yeah. Yep, and motherfuckers say I'm mediocre. Some motherfuckers don't have no response. Some motherfuckers just twiddle their thumbs and look off in the distance. Motherfuckers act like they haven't heard real bars before. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that fuck with my content. HHN Special Report, HHN Special Stories. Fuck the Government Podcast. Fuck the Haters Jam Session. The Fuck It Let's Jam Session. Matrix versus Reality. Top 15 Countdown. Celebrity Hood Reviews. TV Show Reviews. Cloak and Dagger Podcast. Shouts out to Ocean. And the Detroit After Dark. You know, this was gonna be a Detroit After Dark, but I was just like, fuck it. I gotta had to get this shit out my phone. So I can be able to have some space on my phone so I can do some more pre-recordings. I had to get these videos off. It was it was telling me I was running low on space. So at the same time, what I talked about in the first video was how everybody wished that this world would just end already. And the true essence of it is we want to go back to being self-sufficient and not being tethered to society and bills and bullshit. The second video I played was another perspective on They Live. Now that we have the glasses on and we see the bullshit, what the fuck are we going to do about it? You know? So basically it all ends in revolution with me. You know what I'm saying? But really, most importantly, most people haven't looked up the short story that They Live get its movie from. It's from a story called 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's about a man wakes up and he sees the world being ran by aliens, but he's told that he's going to die at 8 o'clock in the morning. So his whole time from that point that he finds out to the time he died, he try to wake people up. So he leads to the most extreme measures, breaking into a fucking news station, shooting an alien on camera, changing the frequency to get everybody to wake up and start this war with the humans versus aliens. But he still dies, like just like in the movie, Roddy Piper character dies after, motherfucking destroying the frequency with the satellite shit. So check out the short story. It's called a short story for a reason. So like it won't be a long story. It ain't like I'm telling you to watch a movie or read a book, but read the short story. But shouts out to everybody coming through. Shout out to everybody on just go watch on the playback. I'm gonna have to watch the 8 o'clock. Yeah. Yup. Check out 8 o'clock in the morning. Like that's the shit that They Live get its movie from. Shout out to everybody coming through. Shout out to everybody fucking with my content. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing subs, gaining subs. They're taking my likes. They fucking with y'all comments. They kicking me out my chat. They're freezing my chat. They're having my chat looking like I'm live, but it's really buffing when I check my other phone. And you know, and AI bots, trolls, and you know, like they don't want my truth out there. They don't want my music out there. They ain't sending out my notifications either. So, you know, I'm not a content creator. I'm a revolutionary that does content. You know, trying to be professional in this, what's the fucking point of trying to be professional if they're going to keep on fucking me over? So, like, the goal is just to be myself, you know, not wear a mask on this bitch. Like, what you see is what you get. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of people come to this channel and leave this channel because they saw a fucking Sunday hood service. I forgot to mention that. And shout out to everybody that love the Sunday hood service. And because all that I do is just deconstruct Christianity. So people come to my channel and they'll leave if they hear a Fuck the Gunman podcast, or they'll hear some shit when I was on the JVJ network. You know what I'm saying? You like, the revolution ain't for the faint of heart. This is not a trend. This is a lifestyle. You know, only thing I can do is just be myself on this platform. But so I just say fuck it and go with the flow, because I'm already tuned out. I already say I can't wait to leave YouTube, you know. But I'm trying to at least put out what I can with this message. So I'm like, you know, grab all my messages, download it, keep it in your archives, because when the revolution starts, I will be your soundtrack. I will be the soundtrack of the revolution. Make a whole bunch of endless revolutionary music, songs for the ladies after a long day of revolution. It's time to party. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get to the last song, because after a long day of revolution, gotta get naughty. It's the last song, y'all. We'll be out of here. I'm sorry, I'm not selling my YouTube channel. What? I'ma still be on, but I just won't be doing much.
Time to have a party. Baby girl love it if she about to get naughty. Time to have a party. Time to have a party. Baby girl love it if she about to get naughty.
Salute GBA. Salute everybody in the groove.
Baby girl get naughty.
Low Keish.
Baby girl get naughty.
Relentless, salute everybody.
Thank you so much love. See me on stage, tell that motherfucker love. Baby girl, get you low. Drop it to the floor. Pick it back up, baby, make that ass roll. Out of control. Got me singing roll. Baby twerking on me, girl, you know how it go. When you drop, singing low. Take it to the mo. Baby, hop on it soon as the door close. I'm the one that you chose. Take off the clothes, pull out the camera phone. Wanna see you do a pose with your tube video. Time to make a flick. Going for thumbs when I'm giving her the dick. Baby girl, you the shit. Girl like a party with. Never bad chick. Say fire like an arsonist. Baby, this a hit. Got another party mix. Call me Santa Claus. Had to put you on the naughty list. Time to have a party. Time to have a party. Baby girl love it that she about to get naughty. Time to have a party. Time to have a party. Baby girl love it that she about to get naughty. Get naughty. Get naughty. 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 Get naughty. 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 Get naughty. 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 Giving her the business. Love it when I'm in it. Been her ass over, that's her favorite position. Give it to her raw. Going in the deep. Fucking all night, we ain't about to go to sleep. Vibing to the beat, while I clap her cheeks. Baby girl skirting and she fucking up the sheets. She the beauty, I'm the beast. Eat her like a feast. Sweet cherry pie, baby, let me get a piece. Detroit after dark, did it in the park. Under the stars on the hood of a car. She adventurous, we up in the parking lot. Put up to the job, we was fucking on the clock. Day and after work, we went to the drive-in. Treated like a swimming pool, I'm about to dive in. This a party over here, got you fucking vibing. Grab a naughty girl, yeah, I'm about to slide in. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it and she about to get naughty. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it and she about to get naughty, get naughty, 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 naughty. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it and she about to get naughty. Time to have a party, time to have a party. Baby girl love it and she about to get naughty, get naughty, 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 naughty.
Yep. Now for y'all announcements. Shit. Got some new music I'm working on. Shout out to Monkey Man, TNB with Monkey Man from Texas. I think he putting together a project. He just wanted me to write something to these 2 tracks. I'm working on the second track now. Like the first beat, you know, that Hurricanes, that was from TNB with Monkey Man from Texas. Shout out to Texas. You like Relentless from Texas too. You know, like me and Relentless did 2 tracks together. So shouts out to Texas. And plus my OGs that's up here in Detroit, it's from Texas. So shouts out to Texas, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They showed me the game, you know what I'm saying? We cleaned up the community, had a little radio station, Dumb Radio, Detroit Underground Music Broadcast. It was Highland Park Music Company. We did shows, showcases, hair shows, and the Head Start program for the kids. We was all over the place with it. Did protesters and shit, you know. I put in my work. Now it's time for the revolution. I'm talking like real shit, just like going back through the memories. I'm 38. So I'm like, just going back, looking at all the work I put in. So like now it's like a person could be like, oh, I see why it's time for the revolution. You already did all your work. Like I put in all my work for the community, for the block. Did the street shit. Did the work shit. It's time for a revolution. Like shit. What the fuck else to do? It's either that or get with a female and live on some land happily ever after. But I'm still do the revolution. You know what I'm saying? Like put together militia groups across the fucking country. Allegedly. But, I could just kick back, relax, and say fuck it all, just have peace. But this is why, like when I leave YouTube and go on my rest period, I'ma still be doing my thing on YouTube, but it just won't be as much. I will try to promote another channel, on some travel shit, show y'all where I'm at, show y'all how I'm living and shit, to fucking let y'all know that I'm alive. But that'll be it. But like when it comes to this, I might pop up like once every blue moon, do a jam session or do a Fuck the Government podcast and HHN here or there. It felt good for the past couple of days to just work on music and putting together some videos. But like to let go of the news. I've been watching the news. I know what's going on. I just haven't been talking about it. I know like the newest thing is this new hantavirus and Trump still talking shit. And this war with Iran. It's just the same shit, But like the only thing that's new is this hantavirus. But like it ain't new because it's no different from them when they come out with some motherfucking meningitis, SARS, Ebola, COVID, and all this shit. It's just the same motherfucking same shit, different pile. So like that's why I cover it. I've been more focused on the music and more focused on, my personal life. You know what I'm saying? Because look, my personal life really trumps YouTube any fucking day. Like, like real shit. Like, that's why I say I can't wait to leave YouTube. Send you the first videos. Oh, you talk about the Hurricane? Yeah, but I'll send you the Hurricane because like that was the last one I did. I think Hurricane and some other ones. I think Hurricane and a couple a couple other songs I did. Yeah, and it's cool that you can use me for like a project, like it's an honor to be a part of that because like people need to know, like when you show them the editing program and shit, like it's cool to be part of that project. Then you can remove the watermarks. Yep. Shout out to GBA. Like if y'all got a video with the watermarks on it, he'll go to your video and try to clean it up. I mean, like not try to clean it up, he will clean it up. But yeah, like my personal life trumps YouTube and like everything else any day. So like I really want that to be cool. Because it is what it is. But shout out to everybody coming through, and everybody's gonna watch on the playback. About to get up out of here. Shout out to everybody in y'all respective time zones. Much love to Vonta in the UK. Probably on their way to work. Don't work too hard. See you in the afternoon. And shout out to everybody. I should have a new song done. I'm trying to get it done tonight, like after I'm done with this. And if it get done tonight, I'll drop it in the morning or probably in the afternoon. And then, like, if not, probably see what's popping in the news. Like, if not, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow with it. But I'm definitely got to get this new track done. And I got some other tracks I'm working on. Like I'm saying, I'm working on like 3 tracks at once. So, yeah, so like let's get this new week started. Anything else? Nope, that's about it. So shout out to everybody. Catch you on the next one. Peace. Hold on, wait a minute. Shout out to GBA Radio, In the Groove, Alki, Low Key, Relentless. Shout out to everybody in the chat, and everybody's going to watch on the playback. Much love, Vonta. We out. Salute.